What's up, y'all? This is Kosi. I'm your host once again. And this time around, I am with the energetic. Should I call you Djungle?
Djungle is fine.
Djungle?
Yeah,
all right, we'll call you Djungle.
Cool.
Our winner of the first edition of Joat Hip Hop. It's a big deal. Yeah, they should know. Yeah, you think so, no?
Just a little bit.
Lots of adjectives: dancer, beat maker. Anything else I should put in there? Anything else they should know?
Martial artist. Yeah.
Tell them.
Yeah.
Right.
I just got back into capoeira classes. I had stopped for 10 years, but now I feel like, my schedule is like less crazy.
All right.
And I can actually like commit to it the way that I want to. So I just got back in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
We will get to that.
Right.
We will definitely unpack that. But much like our last interview, I would like to start off with the question, what is the most memorable instance you've had at Joat so far? It could be as you dancing or as an attendee. What's something you remember that's stuck in your mind?
For Joat in general, so does it have to be like the last edition, or it can be like previous?
Any moment.
Man, I think it was 2019, maybe, the one that was happening at Ben Mathieu. And if I remember properly, I think it was Abdel versus Ignite.
Ooh.
I think.
Okay.
And, me and my mans, we were like in the crowd, but we were going crazy.
Right.
Like front row, like corner of the stage. Like
right.
It was like really like wilding out. And it was really just the energy. The energy and the presence in the room. I feel like, especially for Joat, I feel like it's the only battle that you really feel like the whole community is coming together.
Right.
Like, it's really about what we're doing and like supporting each other. And his round was crazy, obviously, but it's just, for me, it was really just, you really feel like, the whole community is like here together and we're like going in, you know?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Joat Festival definitely does feel like a benchmark. It's like every year it happens, it's sort of like, what have we done? How have we pushed in the past year? I know pushed is, but it's like very much like, what are the levels now? And we get to see, we not only get to talk about it, but we get to really see
it. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like, forget all the talking. It's time to show us something, right? And you definitely showed us something.
Hey, appreciate it.
We're gonna get into it. I want to talk about music, right? You're a beat maker as well.
Yeah.
I want to start off by recalling. I want to say it's the second round of the finals.
Yeah.
The song that plays is "Quiet Storm."
Yeah, Quiet Storm.
Mobb Deep.
Classic.
Incredible.
Classic.
Right, so myself as a hip hop dancer, a practitioner, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm going, what is he going to do? This song starts off real slow. Got the thunder rolling in the background, but it sets the mood, it sets the scene. So I'm wondering, what's going through your mind at that moment?
It was, a lot of things.
Right.
A lot of things, and especially in like a battle context, it's easy to get carried away by just the energy, the things that you're feeling, the music as well, and just like go off and just do whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just jumbled. Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to do that, especially for because we had to give like like the constraint for the round.
Right.
And for this one, it was focus on the dance, right? And like prior to that, I had like we had the opportunity to like speak on the mic and like explain actually like what we're trying to say and just break down pretty much because I remember Frankie D had given levels.
Yes.
And then you just have to explain it. So for me, it was just I was like reminding myself that it's like focus on that, like really focus on that thing that you're feeling,
right?
And
That's the North Star. That's what we're headed towards, right?
Yeah, and like do the best that you can to really like express that, like honestly, right? Because again, that's what it was about. It wasn't when I say focus on the dance, it's not about like the technique and like what are the moves that you can pull out on the beat, right? Because the dance for me personally, in the way that I see it, the dancing is the feeling, right? We do these things around it, we move technique and everything, but it's like we do all of that to express what we feel, right? So truly, the dance is in here, right? Because some people could be doing a bunch of shit, and you're like, I don't feel you, or that person is not dancing, but this one is dancing, and he's just doing a little two-step on the side, right?
You know what? Thank you for that, because, I didn't have the pleasure of being in the room that day. In a lot of things, kind of made me feel like this sense of like, the fear of missing out. I had the pleasure of being one of the curators for the hip hop rules. So I was very much excited, not only to see you all interpret the rules, but also to see what happens when you forget the rules, when you get to propose something yourself. So to hear you explain that, it's something we don't get because we weren't in the room, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's very nice to kind of now go back and watch it and get that added context.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But also you touched on something I think is important, in that when we, as dancers, we have a lot of adjectives, like I just said, but as dancers, sometimes we complexify the dance so much, we tack this on and that on and that on, that sometimes it's hard to actually see the dance.
Yeah.
So thank you as well for kind of elaborating on what that is for you. I'm sure that if we were to go back and watch that footage, it'll give it it's completely different. And I live for that. I live for moments where I can have conversations with folks and really see what it is you were living in that moment. So thank you. Moving right along. How important is something like intention for you when you move? Because when I receive your dancing, that's what I see. I see someone who knows themselves outside of the room and knows themselves in the room as well. Yeah. So what does that, how much does that play into the way you move?
Can you break that down?
I'm essentially talking about like, sometimes when we step into a battle context, the pressure gets to you. And like you said, we forget what's really what. That guiding light, right? But you seem to me, especially in what I've seen recently, like someone who knows exactly what that is. Yeah. How much does that add to your practice? Is it something you do? Do you go, today, it's this. Nothing more, nothing less. Y'all can't shake me.
Yeah. And especially, I'm going to say especially for battle, just because everything is put in place to get you out of your body.
So it's a challenge,
Yeah, so like the judges, there's a lot of people, it's a crowd, you have 45 seconds.
Looking up at you like this.
Yeah, so it's like everything is like in place for you to not focus on yourself and focus on how you're actually feeling, because there's so many like outside factors that are affecting you right now that it's like it's really, really hard to focus on, like, damn, okay, like what am I actually trying to do, like how am I feeling, so for me, it's something like, even coming into the battle, like I'm already tapped in, like I've been like thinking and just reflecting on like, well, first of all, why am I even participating? Like, what am I trying to do? Like, why am I battling? Right? Because it's like, I don't care about winning. Like, I really do not care about winning, or at least I don't care about the outcome. Right? I know for a fact that I'm not trying to lose, but
but I don't care about the outcome.
I don't care about the outcome, and
Very
it's like I don't
Yeah.
enter battles to win. I came to realize that I very much enjoy the exchange. That's really like why I do it. I feel like just the us just giving at each other. Right. But just the preparation and like making sure that once again it's like I am honoring the way that I'm feeling in terms of like coming into it. Yeah, there's a whole and it's like even like outside of like battle context, right? Because it's like I think there was maybe one time or twice that I've actually prepared myself for a battle specifically. Not that I don't train or whatever, but it's just battle are not the reason why I'm being ready or staying ready.
You're just ready.
Yeah. And it's like, again, it's not for battles that I do it, right? So it just happened that battles are happening at the same time. So I'm entering and I'm doing them. And even that is like I don't register in just every battle that I see happening, right? So yeah, it's a whole way of like being in general. I'm like very much connected and in tune with like my body and just my purpose in general and like why do I do things, and I don't over like think stuff, but I reflect and question myself a lot, or at least enough for me to know like where I'm trying to go. On.
Yeah, you seem like a very self-reflexive person to me. You know, like even if when the deed is done, there's a debrief. There's a okay. Regardless of the outcome, I need to go and sit with this and unpack it, you know? So it's wonderful to hear your thought process. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching will learn a lot from that, you know? A lot of things you said are huge. Purpose is huge.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for the insight. I'm going to turn the corner a little bit. I want to talk about beat making. You're very much engaged in the beat making. I want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you tell me, and then I got a question.
Okay.
But what's your relationship to beat making? The laugh means something.
Man, my relation to beat making. So okay, I'm gonna say this first. I dance because of music. Like that's
clear.
Yeah. Like if it wasn't for the music, like I wouldn't be dancing.
Right.
So, and it's like even before understanding or just knowing what dance could do for me, it's like I already had like a very, very, very strong connection to music and what music makes me feel. Right. So it's like at the time I didn't really had the tools to like figure this out, because it's like I'm listening to something, I'm feeling some stuff, and I'm like, yo, what is this? And it's like I don't have the information yet, body-wise, to like figure that out, you know? So it's like most of the time I would just either get angry at myself because it's like I don't know what to do with that feeling, or I would just go crazy, just like crazy, like head nod, just like, so that already is like now getting to a point where it's like I'm understanding and like learning how to actually like make beats, right? I feel like dance, or just like the time that I spent dancing, actually helped in terms of like in the learning process, just because now it's like not only I have this connection to it, but it's like I understand it already to a certain extent because I've been like dancing and like training and living stuff on music in general, right? So now that I get to a place where it's like I'm making it, it's
different.
It's different. It's different. It's tight though. It's dope. I love it for real. But it's different because it's like now I'm learning something, so it's like the emotional relation that I have to it cannot be fulfilled just yet, because the beats and what I'm making they're not at that level yet, right? So it's like And that's me with myself, you know.
Of course.
Maybe somebody's gonna listen to the beats and be like, "Yo,
I hear it." Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's like for me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not bad or whatever. It's just. It's like I see where I'm trying to go already.
Right.
You know. So yeah, it's interesting.
Right.
I feel like I'm not attached emotionally.
Just yet.
The way that I would want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's just because I'm in the learning phase of it.
Absolutely.
So I'm like trying to really like figure it out for real, you know?
Right.
And
and give it the time it deserves.
Yeah.
I think, you know, these are me as a host, me as a dancer. They're all, you know, I'm wearing 1,000 hats at the moment. But when you have this deep connection to music, anybody, and you just want to know more, these are the things that happen. You go and put yourself in the space of the producer, in the space of the beat maker, right? And I'm finding that, you know, I've tried my hand at, you know, all of the hip hop machines, MPC, Akai, all of that, right?
1200, yeah.
Not to, as if to say I want to be a beat maker or producer, but just to understand what it takes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To understand what it takes. Because then for me as a dancer, I can't take it for granted. Somebody sat there and composed that. And not only that, mastered it, mixed it, put it out for you to receive, you know? So there's like this sense of responsibility. And I don't know if you feel that, but I feel like there's something noble about the dancer who then becomes the musician or vice versa. Because we're trying to understand each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a dancer, you can't really do that thing justice unless you know how much effort it takes to actually make the thing that you're dancing to.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I already mentioned it, you know, but hip-hop machines, that's what I call them, little NPCs, you know? So what you got? What's the setup like? Tell us.
Man, so it's funny because so when I started, actually, I didn't have like any like crazy equipment or anything. I started on FL Studio. With like the Akai Mini.
Fruity Loops.
Yeah, you got your keys, you got like your 8 pads,
right?
4 knobs and shit.
Yeah.
So the Akai Mini is what I started with, but then I remember, and that was during pandemic. I remember watching, it was Cooking Soul.
Yes.
I was watching like one of his videos, and in the video he had just ordered the MPC Live 2. And like, to be honest, like prior to that, I had no idea what an MPC was.
What it stood for.
I had like I had seen like pictures of JD with some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I didn't really know.
Right.
So it's like, when I saw the MPC Live 2 in that video, I was like,
yeah, I need that.
Yeah, that's...
for our viewers, you know, we're throwing a bunch of terms out. You know, the MPC is your MIDI production center, right?
Yeah.
And JD is J Dilla, which I think is someone, as a producer and a musician, that a lot of hip-hop dancers attach themselves to.
But, yeah. Not just a lot, like all of it.
You should.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, so basically I was watching that video, and again, prior to that, it's like I had no real like knowledge or information on the gear and like what it actually was, you know? But when I saw that on the video, I was like, yo, hey,
money.
That's, like I need that.
And money.
That's there, yeah. I need that, you know?
Right.
So then I looked it up. That shit is like 20 G's, 2 G's, not 20, my fault. 2. So I was like, yeah.
Investment.
Let me just go back to Fruity Loop, you know? Because I don't have, I don't have 2 G's.
Humbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because that same night is like I really couldn't sleep because I was like, yo, what was that machine that he was using? So, hey, the next day, man, I went and get it.
You did?
Yeah.
You said, I have to have it.
Yeah. Crazy, because it's like, I really like couldn't sleep. Like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, yo, I need that NPC.
You know what? It's interesting because, there's a lot of us who would look at that moment and go, it's not for me. Humble yourself. You know? But for you to go, no, there's no other option.
There's no, exactly. But because that's the thing, because it's like usually, like if it wasn't it, then it would have been fine. Like I would have been over it.
You wouldn't have.
Yeah, but I had trouble sleeping at night. So it's like, that's when I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta get that no matter what, so. So I have an MPC Life 2. I just recently bought an SP404 Mark II as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a whole production center.
Yeah, like and it's funny that you asked it, like, because it's really recent that I like actually have like a home setup. So that's good.
It's changing everything.
Yeah. That's cool for
That's
real.
awesome.
Yeah.
I do have one more question before I let you go. It's been so fascinating to talk to you. I wonder how it feels then as this dancer, beat maker, hybrid, to get to work with someone like Shashu, who is also equally a dancer / and he's genius.
Yo, Shash, come on now.
As he walks by the door. Right? To sort of learn in tandem. He's like, you're right next to him.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
Right next to him, I would love to have that proximity. I'm definitely around him, I would say. I've never actually like been like in a studio or something like that with Shash. I remember this one, I think it was last year maybe or 2 years ago. He was like doing like a beat making workshop for B-side.
Right. Shout out Ebb and Flow.
Yeah. And that was like my first time like being in a studio / music production situation in the same time as Shashu is there.
I see.
And like sharing knowledge and just like just giving off like insight and just talking about his process, how he uses his gear and equipment. My relation with that is it's more like whenever I have like questions and stuff, I can go to him and like asking like about like EQing and like drums and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm not gonna dive too deep into the technical stuff.
Of course.
But
just to have that person there,
it's
like
and to also just to see how he goes about it and to look at the evolution of his sound from, because that's the thing. I used to listen to Shashu's beat when I was in high school.
Right.
So it's like for me, that's what's more crazy about it is that I was listening to the men's beat in high school, and it's like now
you get to ask him questions.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, yo,
it's wild.
Yeah,
and it must also be wild then to have him create a piece of music specifically for you.
My fault.
That's fine. Express yourself. But it's like, I can imagine how like full circle that is.
It's
to have his interpretation of your movement. That must be something.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. And I was talking about that like not too long ago with a friend, and it's just like, yeah, bro. And I used to think that like this wasn't happening in Montreal. Like it was impossible. Like the battles that I was seeing, like I was like, okay, that's in the States. Like even back in like Monster, Venom, like I was. Like I had no idea these people were from Montreal. So, yeah, for me, it's more that realization that it's like, yo, this thing, like it's been here all along,
It's underneath the surface. You got to go find it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, June, I don't want to take up too much of your time. We, on behalf of myself, Joat Sndtrk, we want to thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations again. We hope to see you at this year's festival.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
From your host, June. Peace.